All right, to start our pelvic tilt mobility progression, you're going to see in a lot of your athletes that are restricted with pelvic tilting that they're really dominant in their lumbar extensors. They'll have real strong, meaty lumbar paraspinals here, and they're kind of locked in this anterior pelvic tilt, so they can't really posterior tilt, or they're real shaky. So we need to inhibit or turn off these lumbar extensors and stretch them out a little bit. A good way to do that, have them on their knees, posteriorly tilt as much as I can, sit back on your heels, come down onto your forearms. In that position, you'll take a good breath in, and then on the exhale, round the back. Hold that rounded position, do another cycle of breath, and again, when you exhale, even more lumbar flexion. So it'll look like this. Good exercise to turn off those lumbar extensors and start freeing that pelvis up for pelvic tilting. All right, guys, you've freed your pelvis up a little bit. Now what I'd like to do is just a little exercise strengthening up the pelvic tilt. And I like to use a reverse crunch. It's a really good one. You'll just lay on your back. And instead of crunching your upper body, you're going to try to bring your knees high off the ground as you can. Do 5 to 10 reps of the reverse crunch. Okay, now what we're going to do is an exercise called a glute bridge. Again, you'll be laying on your back with the hook lying position. Head supported. You can put an ab mat behind your head. Heels on the ground, toes up. Feet pretty close together. From here, you're going to get a good breath. Hold that good diaphragmatic breath, and then drive up into the bridge position. Squeeze in your glutes. Back down. You'll do 10 reps of that. If it's a little too easy, you can come up into the bridge, hold that position, and straighten one leg. That'll look like this. Again, that's called the glute bridge. A great exercise for strengthening up the glutes. Also a good exercise to throw in to the pelvic tilt mobility progression. All right, guys, part of the pelvic tilt mobility progression, we just want to start patterning that movement. For a lot of people, they've just kind of forgotten how to do that over time. So we just want to start cueing that a little bit. And the way to do that easiest is on the ground in the hook lying position. The athlete will just lay on their back, and from there, try to flatten and arch their back. It'll look like this. You can use your hand under your low back. Have the athlete push into the hand. Then free up the hand. Push into the hand. Free up the hand. Push. Again, looks like this. Push into the hand. Let go. Push in. Let go. Push in. It's a good exercise just to cue the pelvic tilting motion for the pelvic tilting mobility progression. Moving on with our pelvic tilting mobility progression, we've mastered pelvic tilting on the ground in the hook lying position. It's now nice and easy for you unloaded to get good range of motion in the pelvic tilting. Now we want to try to move into a loaded position where we're fighting against gravity and still be able to make that motion happen. I like to make it a little easier by still coming to the wall. Bring your feet about a foot off of the wall, and then we're just going to do the same thing we did on the ground. From here, we'll have our hand behind our back. Try to have the athlete push into your hand or their hand, round the back, push in, round, push in. Just have them play around with that. Cycles of 10 or 15 pelvic tilts. Once they feel really, really good about that, they may want to do that for a day or two. But once they really have that mastered, now we just want to retest and see if standing in a neutral position, can the athlete now control the pelvic tilting mobility.